Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. As this morning from Niwot High School, it's another Longs Peak League clash as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Niwot Cougars. I'm John Beltran. The Mustangs go into this game with a 4-15 record, looking to snap a 10-game losing streak. Just lost to Riverdale Ridge 11-3 on Thursday. And as for Niwot, having a nice bounce-back season, 8-6 in the league, 10-7 overall. The Mustangs, by the way, in league play this year are 1-13. 3 more games remain after today, but boy, to get one more victory would be so nice for Fort Morgan, considering they've been in a lot of games on the road. I mean, they've had chances on the road, just have not been able to close. Lost to Northridge 6-5, Mountain View 12-11. Charlie Langford will step in. Starting lineup brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow locally from people you know. One of 10 locations across the plains, or visit equitable-savings.com. First pitch brought to you by Buildings by Design. Batting second is Tyler Baker. Trey Romero, the first baseman, is third. Batting fourth is Jason Diaz as the pitch is down and away from Henry Noblin. 1 ball and no strikes to Charlie Langford. Out of the stretch with the bases empty, and the pitch swung on and chopped to third on 2 big hops. The ball is dropped, picked up, throw to first is going to be late. An error on the second pitch of the game from Hayden Shaw and an easy bouncer. And that's the way this game starts, as the Mustangs are dressed in their road grays and Niwot in their home whites. Let's continue with the Mustang lineup. Batting fifth is Joseph Layton. Jaden Carrera hits sixth. Noah Aguirre bats seventh. The right fielder hits eighth. Angel Lopez. Jesus Franco hits ninth. Defensively, Julian Leto at first. Jaden Adler at second. Throw back to first, nothing doing. Hayden Shaw's at third. Sergio Pimentel's a shortstop. Jagger Kilpatrick in left. Brock Rothstein in center. Arlo Richards in right. Diego Castro behind the plate. The stretch by Noblin. And the pitch. Fastball is right there for a strike. Langford came into the game, leading the team in hitting. We'll run through the numbers here momentarily. Here's Baker with the 0-1. Runner goes. Swung on and popped up. Langford better get back into shallow center field, and the ball will be caught. Langford quickly back to first as Baker's retired on the fly ball to Rothstein. There's one down. All right, so looking back, Langford at 389, Baker at 188, and here is Trey Romero hitting 333. This Niwot pitcher, a right-hander. Throw back to first, and Langford caught between first and second. They'll throw over to second. They're going to run him back towards first to throw the slide, and he is going to be tagged out. Tagged out by the pitcher, Noblin, so that goes 1-3 to 6-1 on the pickoff, and there's 2 down. Yeah, just taking a chance there. Didn't work out. Anyway, for Noblin, 0-2 with a 3.87 ERA. Probably their number 3 pitcher when you look at the numbers. Swung on and grounded foul along the first base side. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Trey Romero. The stretch, gorgeous field at Niwot. 390 straight away, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. 325 down the lines. No balls and 2 strikes to Trey Romero. Stretch by Noblin, the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains at 0-2. One-stop shopping does exist at Stubbs Gas and Oil off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories, that's outside. With a fastball, the count goes to 1-2. 2 down And the base is empty. In the top of the first inning, and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball that was down and in. And Romero strikes out. No runs, no hits in air, and nobody left. Bottom of the first we go. As the Mustangs do not score, Niwot is coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Western Engineering Consultant.
Morgan County's B106.
Let's get to the starting lineup for the Niwot Cougars. The Mustangs do not score in the first inning. Batting first is the shortstop Sergio Pimentel. The center fielder Brock Rothstein at second. The number 3 hitter is the third baseman Hayden Shaw. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman Julian Leto. Catcher Diego Castro hits fifth. The pitcher Henry Noblin will bat sixth. In the seventh position is the second baseman Jaden Adler. Arlo Richards in right hits eighth. And the ninth hitter is the left fielder Jagger Kilpatrick. For the Mustangs defensively, Trey Romero's at first base, Jesus Franco at second. The third baseman is Joseph Layden. Jaden Carreras at short. In left field is Noah Aguirre, Charlie Langford in center. Angel Lopez in right. Behind the plate is Tyler Baker. And Chase Redding is on the mound. Probably not 100%. He had a issue off a ball that was lined off, I believe, his left knee in a game in Fort Morgan 2 games ago. Did not dress for the last game, but healthy enough to pitch here. The pitch, fastball, is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Sergio Pimentel. Hitting .250, hitting .349 as a team. The offering, that's a strike with a fastball down in the zone. It's 1-1. Let's see what we're showing for a temp. It's 63 degrees. And the offering. Breaking ball's a beauty. Outstanding pitch there by Redding. It's 1-2. Baker lays down the sign. And Chase Redding to the plate. Swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman, Layden, has it. Tosses high to first, but Romero kept his foot in the bag, and there's 1 down. Yeah, nearly overthrew that.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Brock Rothstein.
Here is Brock Rothstein hitting .404. He's the leading hitter on this team. Actually, he's the, well, now that I look at it, the 4th leading hitter. There's 3 guys over 400. So this is a potent lineup for Niwot. Hitting for the left side. The pitch, fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Followed by Hayden Shaw. The pitch, down in the zone. Redding ready. And the offering. And the breaking ball is outside. Off the plate. Oh, the previous pitch before that was called a strike, so it's 2-1. And the pitch. Down and in with a fastball. Three balls and 1 strike. Here to the number 2 hitter, Rothstein. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop Carrera's got it. He slings it to first for the out. That's Mustang baseball. There's 2 down. Nice job of Redding coming back from a 3-1 count. And 2 down for Hayden Shaw. Well, that's a good sign.
Third baseman number 15, Hayden Shaw.
Because the defense this year for Fort Morgan has been really struggling, but so far so good. Hayden Shaw, right-handed hitter. Batting .405, and the pitch is a strike with a breaking ball on the inner portion at the knees. It's 0-1. Wind kicking up a little bit. Supposed to be light today, but I don't trust the forecast when it comes to wind. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a nasty curveball. No balls and 2 strikes to Hayden Shaw. Let's see if Chase can put him away. Ahead in the count 0-2. 2 down, bases empty, bottom of the first inning. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes. Redding toes the rubber, gets the sign. And the 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss. He blew him away with a fastball. Shaw strikes out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chase Redding. Let's head to the second in Niwot. No score with the Mustangs and Cougars on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs had a base runner in the first inning, and that's the only base runner so far as we head to the second. No score. Jason Diaz had 3 hits in the loss to Riverdale Ridge, hitting .308. It'll be Diaz, Layden, and Carrera for the Mustangs in the visiting half of the second. Stretch by Noblin with the bases empty in the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got fooled by the breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he was really on his game on Thursday. 3 of the 5 hits for the Mustangs came from this hitter. The pitch. Swung on and lined. That's a base hit into center field by Jason Diaz, and he's gotten on base 4 consecutive times, dating back to the last game. And that one was a breaking ball that hung. That'll send up Joseph Layden, a 150 hitter. Coach Langford might have Layden bunting. We'll see. Short lead at first. He's squaring, and the pitch is down and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
The batter's third baseman, number 10, Joseph Layden.
Mustangs will play Niwot at home on Tuesday. We'll have some weather on Tuesday, but should get the game in back in diving. Yeah, it's a very short lead. A short lead at first for Jason Diaz. The stretch. And the offering, squaring to bunt and fouls it straight back. That was a perfect pitch to bunt, but got on top of it a bit. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, hopefully the rest of the game will go like this. A quick first inning, and the Mustangs can plate a couple and pull off a victory against a team that's got a winning record in league play on the season. And the offering, squaring to bunt again. Beautiful bunt, third base side. Fielded. The throw's going to be to second. And is he going to be safe or out? He got him on the force. Well, that was a close play with Diaz going from first to second. That was a good bunt, though. And Shaw threw high to Adler, but he came down on the bag. And the force is successful, 5-4. And there's 1 down, but that was an excellent bunt. Just didn't work out for the Mustangs. And I think what happened there is the lead was way too short at first. Not a lot of foot speed and a short lead, and that compromises that bunt. Here's Jaden Carrera, the stretch. 2-step lead at first. Throw back to first, back in diving is Layden. Carrera, freshman, hitting .189. The Mustangs as a team are batting .253. Throw back to first again. Layden back in. No score, 1 down, 1 on, top of the second inning. Fort Morgan at Niwot. Game number 20 of the regular season for the Mustangs. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded sharply right side. Second baseman flips to second for 1. Throw to first will be late, as Jaden Adler made the play. 2 down. That's 2 down now for Noah Aguirre.
Left fielder, number 13.
Batting .156. Another right-handed hitter for the Mustangs. Again, a short lead at first there for Carrera. Throw back, and he's back in diving. Well, the Mustangs are making some pretty solid contact. But again, got to find the holes consistently. Leto, check that. That's Noblin looking in for the sign. Throw back to first again. Noblin keeps him close. Yeah, not too many clouds in the sky here at Niwot. It's a gorgeous day, a little bit windy, as I mentioned. Awaiting the first pitch is Aguirre. And here it is. That's up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, plenty of baseball coming up this week, and that's it. Next Saturday, a week from today, it's all over when the Mustangs host Thompson Valley. That'll be the end of the regular season. 1-0. Swung on in line. That's going to be caught by the leaping Adler, the second baseman. It was a flare off the end of the bat. And that does it for the Mustangs in the top of the second inning. No runs on a base hit, no errors, and a base runner left. An inning and a half in the books. Fort Morgan nothing, Niwot nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. No score in Niwot between the Mustangs and Cougars. I'm John Beltran here on Morgan County's B106. It was a perfect first inning for Chase Redding. Retiring the side in order, it'll be Julian Leto. I'll check that. It's Diego Castro. Maybe the Leto is not... okay, he's probably... Let's see if he's on deck or just... Yeah, he's on deck. I guess they flip-flopped it there. Castro now hitting. From the right side, and the pitch. And the breaking ball is a strike on the outside corner. At the knees, no balls and 1 strike for Diego Castro against right-hander Chase Redding. Here's the wind and pitch, and that one bounces off the glove of Baker. A ball and a strike. Castro hitting .417, second leading hitter on this team. That's why he's in a cleanup position. Thankfully, the bases are empty. He's got 22 RBIs leading the team. And a beautiful curveball in the inner half. That's a strike at 1-2. To Castro. Redding gets a sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up in the zone. He strikes out Castro. His second consecutive strikeout, and there's 1 down. Second left-handed hitter in this lineup is coming up. And that's Julian Leto, hitting just .139. And the offering is fouled off the end of the bat to the screen. No balls and 1 strike.
The batter, first baseman number 1, Julian Leto.
Yeah, this Niwot team has really come through this year nicely. They have had some big wins. The offering, breaking ball bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases empty, bottom of the second inning. No score with 1 out. 8-6 league record, 10-7 overall. And the pitch. Fastball is a strike at the knees, bottom of the zone. Yeah, they beat Roosevelt. They split a doubleheader with Roosevelt, with Riverdale Ridge, with Severance, with Thompson Valley, with Skyline. They swept Mountain View. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch on the inner half. That is 3 consecutive strikeouts for Chase Redding, 2 down.
Now batting, the pitcher.
And here's Henry Noblin.
Henry Noblin.
Man, he's mowing them down so far. Redding is in command in the early going. The pitch. That's a strike with a breaking ball in the inside corner at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Noblin awaits the offering. Swing and a miss, a nasty curveball. It's 0-2. Redding looking to make this another quick inning. The pitch. Outside with a curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noblin hitting .296. And Redding delivers. Fouled off the end of the bat towards the third base dugout occupied by Niwot. Remains at 1-2. Very peaceful Very peaceful baseball atmosphere here in Niwot. The offering swung on and fouled up the third base side. Tried to jam him. Count remains at 1 strikes with 2 down and the bases empty. In the bottom of the second inning, Niwot looking for their first base runner. The Mustangs have had a couple. 1-2 to Henry Noblin. Redding to the plate. Up and in with a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, this is as well as he's thrown all year. Let's see. Hopefully he keeps this up the entire game. And Chase Redding delivers. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters. Chase Redding strikes out the side in order. He has fanned 4 in a row. Let's head to the third inning in Niwot. Fort Morgan nothing, Niwot nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. It's a pitcher's duel as we head to the third inning. No score. Chase Redding has been the story for the Mustangs. He's struck out 4 consecutive Cougars, including the side in order in the second. Morgan will be sending up the bottom of the lineup. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Lopez, Franco, and Langford against right-hander Henry Noblin. Lopez getting some starts recently. Yeah, they're just trying to build up some of these younger players, get them some playing time. Lopez hitting .231, had a base hit in the loss to Riverdale Ridge. The pitch, swing and a miss. Oh, that was an awful pitch to swing at, a breaking ball that was in the dirt, and Lopez went fishing. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering, swing and a miss. He's not seeing that ball at all. I would throw him the same pitch. There's no reason to throw him a fastball. He's completely lost up there on those first 2 pitches. No balls and 2 strikes. Both pitches in the dirt. And the offering. And that one, good job of taking that pitch. That one bounced in. 1-2. He's made the adjustment with that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lopez to begin the top of the third. Noblin delivers. Fastball is a called strike 3 on the outside corner, just above the knees. There's 1 down. And that'll bring up Jesus Franco.
Second baseman number 20, Jesus Franco.
Franco hitting .273. Temps still showing 63 degrees in Niwot. Should warm up to 70. Fastball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Followed by Charlie Langford. Franco awaits. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Pimentel charges, gloves, throws to first, and tagging the hitter going by because Leto was off the bag. And Franco's retired, 2 down. Yeah, that throw was at the first base side, and his foot came off the bag, but he tagged Franco right around waist level. 2 down. Langford grounded to third, but it was misplayed by Hayden Shaw to begin the game. The pitch. Fastball is a strike on the inner half. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Only 1 hit in this game. That came from Jason Diaz. And the offering. That bounces to the plate. Scooped up by Castro. It's 1-1. Again, the games on the road that Fort Morgan has played have been very competitive. Even the game against Riverdale Ridge, they were up 3-0. The offering. Swung on and lifted down the right side. That is twisting foul, and that is out of play. Man, that wind, that's a crosswind. Carrying that baseball from along the line to about 25 feet foul as the wind starts to play a factor. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Charlie Langford. Digs into the box. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded off the end of the bat towards center field. A dive and a base hit. Jaden Adler could not get to the baseball, and Langford has Fort Morgan's second hit of the game. And here's Tyler Baker, who popped to center his first time up. That's a nice two-strike swing for Langford. Yeah, Charlie knew you got to keep the hands back if they throw a breaking ball, and that's what it was. It was a breaking ball. He kept the hands back and hit it hard enough that it evaded the second baseman. The pitch, down and away with a heater. A ball and no strikes to Baker. No runs on 2 hits for the Mustangs. No runs, no hits for Niwot. We're in the third. Langford a short lead at first. Now he stretches it out. He was picked off last time. The pitch swung on and lifted towards center field, charging and making it. Running catches Brock Rothstein to a knee. And that robs Baker of a base hit. And the third inning is all over. The top of the third, that is no runs on 1 hit, no errors and a man left. 2.5 complete. No score. Fort Morgan and Niwot on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We move to the bottom of the third inning in Niwot. No score between the Mustangs and Cougars. 6 up, 6 down. Chase Redding has struck out the last 4 Cougars in this game. Here's Jaden Adler, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball just above belt level. It's 0-1. Yeah, he's got everything working. The fastball and the breaking ball. Adler hitting just 0-53. The offering. That's up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the strike-to-ball ratio has been an issue this year, but not in this game. 2-1 strike to ball. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a sweeping breaking ball. It's 1-2. Redding acknowledges the sign from Baker. The pitch, and that bounces to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 2 hits so far, both by Fort Morgan. Jason Diaz and Charlie Langford. Redding to the plate. That's off the glove of Baker on a fastball away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 7, 8, and 9 in the order for Niwot. He's ready, and the pitch, and he lost him. A fastball down and away. He just walked an 0-53 hitter. That'll bring up Arlo Richards. That's the first base runner for Niwot.
Arlo Richards.
Richards hitting 278. He'll be operating out of the stretch for the first time in the game. Yeah, that's too bad. Everything he was throwing to that kid was pretty successful, but goes to first, nothing doing. Yeah, you can't walk an 0-53 hitter. That spells trouble, especially since you're going to see the top of the lineup in this inning unless they hit into a double play. And the pitch, squaring to bunt, foul off the first base side. No balls and 1 strike. This thing just comes out of nowhere. I mean, really out of nowhere. It did say light wind, but this is not light. The ball gets away. Romero's got to chase it down. Now the throw to second, and it's off the glove of the second baseman, Franco. That'll be an error. A little bit of a low throw to first, a runner in scoring position. That's the first base runner to get to second in the first 3 innings. And Niwot has the first legitimate threat of the game. No balls and 1 strike to Arlo Richards, the number 8 hitter, right-handed hitter. The stretch. Stepping off, and now don't want to preoccupy yourself with that base runner. He's retired. Every hitter he's thrown strikes to. The pitch. Breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fort Morgan, nothing. Niwot, nothing. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Nobody out. A walk and an error has Adler at second. Squaring to bunt, foul along the third base side. 1-2. Redding did strike out 4 in a row before the walk. Let's see if he can fan another. You don't want to advance that base runner if you're Fort Morgan, considering the Mustangs are on the road. You don't get that final at bat. Throw back to second. Again, low percentage play. Back in plenty of time as Carrera was covering. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Richards a much better hitter than the runner at second. Average-wise, much better. Redding to the plate. Bounces in. Nice block there by Baker. 2-2. Yeah, again, don't pay too much attention to the runner at second. That's been an issue this year, along with many other things. And what happens? You lose focus on the hitter. The stretch. Redding to the plate. And that one hit him on a breaking ball. It got him around the left shoulder. First and second now for Jagger Kilpatrick. This is the number 9 hitter.
Now batting, left fielder number 3, Jagger Kilpatrick.
And this kid's hitting 347. Good hitter for Niwot. And this wind is starting to get fairly relentless. It has not warmed up enough to tolerate it. Redding looking back. Throw back to second with a second baseman, Franco, covering off his glove. I don't know what they're doing here. I know you want to keep them close, but you're not going to pick them off. It would take really a tough play. It's a very low percentage play. You're already in trouble in a scoreless game, first and second off a walk and a hit batsman. Redding to the plate, and that one bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes to Jagger Kilpatrick. At the belt, to the plate, swing, and that's off the glove of Baker, and now runner to third, no throw. That'll be a pass ball. That's on the catcher there. With second and third now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just didn't look it in. Now out of the windup, and this is where Redding feels more comfortable anyway. The pitch, swing and a miss and a nasty curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kilpatrick. How about another one? Can pick up his 5th strikeout. Redding gets a sign. Let's see if he comes up with a strikeout. 1-2. Way outside with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is what happens in baseball sometimes. You neutralize the tough part of the lineup, but the bottom of the lineup somehow does something to make it difficult on you. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss and a curveball away, and there's 1 down. 5th strikeout for Chase Redding.
Now batting, shortstop number 33, Sergio Pimentel.
Here's Sergio Pimentel. He grounded to third in his first plate appearance 2 innings ago. The pitch outside. One with a bender. Baker tried to frame it to no avail. 1 ball and no strikes. Nothing. Mustangs and Cougars, bottom of the third. As usual, the Mustangs playing a competitive road game. The pitch swung on and chopped left side, and it's into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Only run scoring there is from third. Yeah, that was a tricky chopper there, and Layden tried to come up on the short hop. Pimentel comes through as Adler scores. Man, this wind is bipolar. Tremendous wind that just comes and goes. And that was not the forecast for today in Niwot. Brock Rothstein grounded to short his first time up. Could see Pimentel taking off from first. Hitting from the left side. The pitch. And that is upstairs. Runner goes to second, no throw. So 2 in scoring position for Rothstein. Out of the windup is Redding. Fort Morgan trails 1-0 in the pitch. Swung on and driven in the air to right center field, and coming in is Lopez, and he'll make the catch. Runner tags from third to throws up the first base side, and it's 2-0 on the sac fly from Rothstein, scoring Richards. And to third is Pimentel. Here's Hayden Shaw.
Now batting, third baseman number 15, Hayden Shaw.
And Niwot's done it on just one hit. Even that one hit is questionable. I'm not the official scorer because that ball was a chopper on the left side. Never know how that's going to be scored. Shaw struck out his first time up. The pitch. Breaking ball's a strike down the meat of the plate. It's 0-1. Trying to keep it at 2-0 is Chase Redding. No balls and 1 strike, and the offering way outside. Count is at 1-1. Here's the one in the pitch. Fastball is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Hayden Shaw. We're the bottom of the third. Niwot leads 2-0. 2 out of man at third. The offering up and in with a curveball. It is 3-1. Redding had a strikeout in the first, struck out the side in order in the second. And 1 more in the third, but down in the count to the number 3 hitter, Shaw, who he did strike out to end the first inning. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. It'll be a payoff pitch coming up to Hayden Shaw in this bottom half of the third. He might go breaking ball here. He's been known to do that because it's worked for him pretty well in this game. 3-2 pitch. Curveball is inside. He walked him. And that'll send up Diego Castro. He struck out swinging.
Catcher number 24, Diego Castro.
Redding has issued a second walk both in this inning. He's also hit a batter. So here's Castro with runners at first and third and 2 down. And 2 across. Long pause. The pitch. Up and in, runner to second, no throw. Stolen base for Hayden Shaw. And 2-0's not bad. You get a base hit here, it's 4-0. Then we have an issue. Got to get this guy. There is a base open. The offering swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Carrera's got it. Fires to first for the out. Castro is retired, and so are the Cougars in the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs on a base hit and error and 2 left. 3 complete. Niwot 2, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Trey Romero will start the 4th inning. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a pitch down and in. No balls and 1 strike, 2-0 Niwot. Henry Noblin is allowed 2 hits. Redding's allowed just 1, and even that one is questionable. Down and away. We'll get the official scoring later on. 1-1, but a couple of walks and a hit batter did not help the Mustangs. And an error as well. The pitch, breaking ball is outside. Romero struck out in his first plate appearance. 2 balls and 1 strike Well, now the wind fades a bit, thank goodness, but it'll come back. It's the way it's been going all morning. The pitch swung on and grounded to second. Should be an easy play for Adler. Tosses to first for the out. One down. One out for Diaz, who had the first of the two Fort Morgan hits. And that came back in the second inning.
Now batting, DH number 4, Jason Diaz.
Out of the stretch is Noblin. Bases empty. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Noblin stretches, and the pitch. Down and in with a changeup, 2-0. Noblin's thrown just 35 pitches. Needed just 33 to retire 10 Mustangs. 2-0 to Diaz. And the offering. That's a strike on the outer half. Took something off that fastball. It's 2-1. 2-0 Niwot in the fourth inning. Teams hook up again on Tuesday. The pitch swung on, grounded left side, and it's going to be fielded by the shortstop. Long throw to first is in time. Pimentel on a tricky hop was able to make the play in the hole, and there's 2 outs.
Now batting, third baseman number 10, Joseph.
I thought that was going to jump up on him a little bit, but it was an excellent play. There's Joseph Layden. Layden bunted along the third baseline. Pretty good bunt, but the force was on, and they got Diaz at second. So he's 0 for 1. The breaking ball's down and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Joseph Layden. The pitch swung on and lifted foul and out of play off to the right. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice crowd has settled in. Even on the yes windy, no windy day. Just don't know. It warmed up to about 71, 72. That would be nice. But it's sitting at 65. I need a few more degrees. The pitch. That's a fastball for a strike. Just below the letters, it's 1-2 to Layden. 2 down and the bases empty in the fourth inning. The Mustangs have had 2 base runners. The pitch swung on and lifted down the right side. That is foul. Just over the first baseman Leto's glove, but it is foul. That was an excellent 2-strike swing, just sticking the bat out. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Joseph Layden. Better does matter at Better Electric. Another fine sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. And the Mustangs are retired in order in the fourth inning. Strikeout number 3 for Henry Noblin. 3 1/2 innings have been played. It's Niwot 2, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
First baseman number 1, Julian Leto.
Let's move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Niwot with a 2-0 lead. And this is Julian Leto, who struck out swinging his first time up. And the pitch. Breaking ball's a beauty on the outer half at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Redding's got 5 strikeouts in the game, and the offering swung on and grounded right up the middle. The shortstop Carrera charges, throws on a run, 1 out. Excellent defense as Leto is retired. And here's Henry Noblin. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. Right-handed hitter. Here's the wind and pitch. And that's up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. That's the number 6 hitter in this lineup, Henry Noblin. Redding turns and fires, and fastball's way outside, 2-0. Man, I mean, this is, oh gosh, oh man. All right, I'll cover up here. And the 2-0 pitch, way outside, took something off at 3-0. And the pitch, that's a strike with a fastball. Three and one down, bases empty in the fourth. The offering, way outside on the fastball. That's a walk to Noblin. Here's Jaden Adler, who walked.
Now batting, second baseman number 11, Jaden Adler.
His first time up. Yeah, Redding retired the first 6 hitters.
Courtesy runner for Noblin, number 4, Jack Schrock.
At one point had a 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio. Now 34 strikes, 29 balls. And Jack Schrock is the courtesy runner. Luckily, the game is moving along fairly quickly. At least it was. Just to offset sitting out in the wind. Redding at the belt. Squaring to bunt. The pitch. And he bunts it up to third base side. It's going to be a tough play. Barehanded by Redding. Throw to first is in time. An excellent athletic play by the Mustang pitcher. The sacrifice is successful, 1-3. Noblin is second. Adler is out number 2. Man, he had to run a long, and I mean sprint a long way, even though Baker's the catcher, but it had some overspin to it. And that's why you throw sidearm. You get rid of that ball that much quicker. Arlo Richards was hit by a pitch and scored the second of the 2 runs in the third. We're in the fourth. The pitch. Breaking ball's a strike. Belt high in the inner half. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. To the number 8 hitter. You got this guy. You got 9, 1, and 2 in the 5th inning. Looking back. The pitch. Swinging a foul. The breaking ball off the end of the bat. Well, Redding has at least 1 strikeout in every inning. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. None so far in the fourth, but he can do it right now. (0-2) to Arlo Richards. At the belt and to the plate. Swung on and chopped to the second baseman Franco on a high hop, and he slings it to first. Side retired in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Cougars. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a man left in scoring position. 4 complete. Niwot 2, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with you. 2-0 Niwot as we head to the 5th inning. Quick moving game from Niwot. Henry Noblin's allowed 2 hits. Chase Redding has given up just 1 for the Mustangs. And here is Jaden Carrera. Pitches outside. He grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice his first time up. Looks like a nice day, but not with this wind. The pitch. Swung on and grounded right side. Scooped up, no, off the first baseman. Leto now throws to first, and he throws it wide of the target. I'm going to score that an error. That should have been made there. He still had the play. Let's see what the board decides to score, but I've got that as an error. As Carrera reaches. Still nothing on the board, but I've got an error on Niwot, which would be their second. And it is scored an error on the board. He recovered and still had a play, and then threw it about 1.5 feet wide of the pitcher covering Noblin. Here's Noah Aguirre, who popped to second his first time up. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and lifted down the right side, but the wind is carrying that baseball and trickling foul, or tailing foul, I should say. No balls and one strike. I mean, Richards gave chase, and it just kept going the other way, almost as if the ball had a pilot on it. No balls and one strike. This is absolutely brutal. Brutal. Runner goes. Swung on, line towards right center field. That could be trouble. That's in a gap. Aguirre's around first, headed for second. Carrera's around third. He's headed towards the plate. Carrera scores. It's an RBI double by Noah Aguirre in the fifth inning. And the Mustangs have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 Niwot, still with nobody out. Now there's some life with the Mustang bats. Here's Angel Lopez, who struck out looking his first time up. Has to adjust to the curveball. Really struggled with that breaking ball. Swung at 2 in the dirt. Throw back to second. Aguirre back in. Well, that's a good sign for the Mustangs if Noblin's paying attention to a runner at second with nobody out. Again, that's a very, very low percentage play because you don't focus completely on the hit or the stretch. And the pitch. That breaking ball's a strike on the inner half. No balls and one strike. Wouldn't be bad to lay down a bunt either. Lopez has got speed. Lay down a bunt and you might beat it out. 0-1. And the offering squared a bunt and he laid it down foul. No, that's at the plate. It's foul. Now he's got to swing away at 0-2. Just could not put it in play. No balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 Niwot. The Mustangs are threatening to tie the game. The pitch swung on and grounded off the end of the bat to the right side. The pitcher throws to first. Noblin hesitated, thinking he had a play at third. But Aguirre's over there. Lopez is out number 1. And that pitch was above the letters, and somehow Lopez made contact.
Now batting, second base, number 20, Jesus Franco.
But it's a great at-bat. He advances the runner. Jesus Franco grounded a short in the third inning. If he could do that now, he'd tie the game. The infield is halfway, except the third baseman, Shaw, is in on the edge of the grass. Now the entire infield is coming in. Henry Noblin, right-hander to the plate. That bounces in and bounces away. That's going to score Aguirre as it bounced towards the first base dugout. The wild pitches tied the game at 2. A brand new ball game. Now Franco up there with a 1-ball, no strike count. The stretch and the offering outside, and that's what happens at times when you worry too much about a base runner. You lose a little focus on the hitter. And that's the first wild pitch Noblin has thrown, and we're in the 5th inning. The offering in the dirt, 3-0. And Fort Morgan's best hitter will hit next, Charlie Langford. Although Diaz is Fort Morgan's hottest hitter. 3-0. That's a strike with a fastball in the inner half at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. Noblin stretches. Noblin delivers. Swung on and grounded left side. Third baseman Shaw throws to first for the out on the slow roller. There's 2 down.
Now batting, center fielder number 15, Charlie Langford.
Langford has been on base twice, aboard on an error, and singled. Officially 1 for 2. Well, that's too bad. That ball got in on the hands of Franco. I think it was a strike, but it was a 3-1 pitch. More of a pitcher strike than a hitter strike. And the center fielder, Rothstein, is playing way in. The breaking ball's in the dirt. Charlie does have power. I mean, the center and right field are way in, and Aguirre just hit a double in the gap. Charlie's looking that way. The pitch, swung on and driven foul off to the right on a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Mustang center fielder, tied at 2 in the 5th inning. Laying down the sign is Castro, and the offering bounces to the plate. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 across, nobody on base. The pitch, swung on and fouled back. Count is now at 2-2 to Charlie Langford. 4 Morgan bats were fairly silent and now have come through in this inning. Swung on, lined, and off the glove of the second baseman Adler. That's a base hit into right center on that leap. Langford now with 2 hits in the game. Another great 2-strike swing by Charlie Langford. And here is Baker. Mustangs with their 4th hit. Baker has popped to center and lined to center. 0 for 2. The stretch and the offering. The curveball bounces to the plate. Blocked by Castro. It's 1-0. The wind had let up, and then it said, enough of that. I'm going right back at it. Runner goes. Take it for a strike. Throw to second is going to be late. It's a stolen base for Langford. One ball and 1 strike. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball down in the zone. 1-2 to Tyler Baker. Yeah, there's not much to block this one. You would think there would be, but there isn't. 1-2, the offering. Swung on, lined, and off the glove of the shortstop, Pimentel. No throw. Let's see if that scored a hit. Nearly made the catch. That wasn't hit with the same trajectory as the one that Langford hit. Yeah, we'll score a base hit. It was off the glove. It could have been caught, but it's still not scored on the board. If they would score that in air, I wouldn't be surprised either. He had nothing on the board. For now, it's a base hit. And here's Trey Romero. Nope, scored an error on the board. So that's the way we'll, because that ball hit him right in the glove. That was different than the one Adler's hit off the top of his glove. Romero struck out and grounded out. This one hit him pretty much in the middle of the glove, even though he was moving. That's outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mustangs looking for the lead. 1st and 3rd, 2 down, top of the 5th inning, tied at 2. Got a courtesy runner on the back end. The pitch, and that is down and away. Runner goes to second. Now they're going to break for the plate, the throw, and the slide, and Langford is in there. He is in there. And to second, I believe that's Nevares. And the Mustangs lead 3-2. The throw went all the way through, and on the back end of the double steal, Langford broke for the plate, although the trail runner got caught between first and second. The throw was late, and Charlie used that speed to score. And then, again, I think it's Nevares went to second. And the offering, and that's taken for a strike with a changeup on the outside corner. Langford broke as soon as that throw went to second, and he slid in head first around the tag. Step off. Oh, that might be Acosta out there now that I'm looking. I think it's a 1-8. The pitch, down and away. Yeah, that's a 1-8. That's Acosta. 3 balls and 1 strike. This is the 7th man to the plate in the inning. 3 have scored. Noblin delivers, and that's low. I got that as ball 4. Romero wasn't sure, but it is ball 4. And Jason Diaz, who has singled and grounded out, who has 4 hits in his last 5 plate appearances, will now hit for the Mustangs.
DH number 4, Jason Diaz.
This could be a big one in this spot. The pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. There we go again with the wind. The stretch and the offering, and that one is scooped up on a breaking ball that was headed for the backstop, and Castro made a great play. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-2, Fort Morgan in the 5th inning. The pitch outside with a heater. Noblin all of a sudden's lost control of some of his pitches. It's 2-1. Well, the Mustangs have led on the road in a lot of games this season, but have only closed out the one against Frederick. Stepping off is Noblin. You've got 2 on base with 2 outs in the 5th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, breaking ball, is down and away. Oh man, this is a big hitter's count. 3-1 to Jason Diaz. He awaits. Here it comes. Fouled off the end of the bat. Right at the plate. Now the runners will be going. Acosta from second and Romero from first. And they got to make sure they're going. And they have to make sure the pitch is delivered. You don't want to take off early. Got to be sure on both ends. 3-2. Yep, exactly. Stepping off and motioning towards second, and both base runners knew that. Noblin to the plate, and that ball hit him on the lower left leg, and the bases are loaded. And we're going to have a visit, you would think, here from the Niwot coaching staff, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The bases are loaded. A huge at-bat now for Joseph Layden. Keep in mind the Mustangs enter this game on a 10-game losing streak. They still got to get 9 outs and hopefully add to the lead. They were down 2-0 going into this inning. And they've tallied 3 runs. Charlie Langford on the back end of a double steal was able to slide in. Noah Aguirre had the first RBI with a double in the gap, scoring Carrera, who reached on an error. And in fact, Niwot has 3 errors in the game. The Mustangs have 1, although nothing is showing on the board, but there was an error on a pickoff, allowing a runner to advance. So a big at-bat here for Joseph Layden. A fielder's choice on a bunt, which actually was a very good bunt, then struck out on a fastball away. This could really change the game for the Mustangs. Bases loaded and 2 down in the 5th inning. Out of the stretch. Noblin's been operating out of the stretch regardless of the situation. The pitch, that's a strike. Fastball was on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Wow. Here's the stretch again. And the offering swung on foul off the end of the bat towards the Mustang dugout. Well, now Layden's got to adjust here because he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The wind kicking up as much as it has the entire game. Swing and a fly ball into shallow center field. The second baseman Adler is out. He makes the catch. Man, the wind knocked that ball down completely, but it wasn't going anywhere anyway. And the Mustangs are done in the 5th inning, but they scored 3 runs. They do it on 2 base hits. There were 2 errors, and the bases were left loaded. 4.5 innings are complete. with the score, Fort Morgan 3, Niwot 2, on what is turning out to be a very, very windy Saturday in Niwot on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Whether you were the master of the strike, sports coverage with
Left fielder number 3, Jagger Kilpatrick.
I'm John Beltran as we move to the bottom of the fifth inning. The Mustangs have got the lead in Niwot, 3-2. And Jagger Kilpatrick leads off against Chase Redding. The pitch, breaking ball, bounces away. Kilpatrick struck out his first time up. 9-1-2 for Niwot in the bottom of the fifth inning. Want to make this a quick one and reduce this to a 6-out, 2-inning game. The pitch, not even close, down and away again, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. And the pitch. Breaking ball's a strike. Wow, pitching backwards and found the strike zone. 2-1 to Kilpatrick. Redding is ready. The pitch. Swung on the grounded foul along the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Jagger Kilpatrick. That's a heck of a name. It's a great name. Baker laying down the sign. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Carrera on a high hop. The shortstop has got it, slings to first. And safe. Romero's foot came off the bag. And that'll be an error on the throw by Carrera. And the Mustangs have committed their second error of the game. Yep, his foot slightly came off the bag because the throw was high.
Shortstop number 33, Sergio Pimentel.
Sergio Pimentel is grounded out and singled. It's a simple game, and that took a tricky hop, but Carrera adjusted, but the throw was just a little bit high. And really nothing Trey could do there. Throw back to first, back in diving is Kilpatrick. Here's the stretch. And the offering. Squaring to bunt. It's up and in. Yeah, this is no joke. 1 ball and no strikes. I'm trying to power through this. Not me personally, just the voice through the mic. So there's really not a compromise in the coverage, and the throw back to first, back in diving is Kilpatrick. The Mustangs lead 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth inning. But an error to begin the inning. It's got a Niwot base runner at first. Redding to the plate, squaring to bunt, and runner going to second to throw the slide, and safe! Tag was applied by Franco, but just late. And it's a stolen base for Kilpatrick. And the count is at 2-0. So the tying run is in scoring position. Here's the stretch. And the offering. And that's up and in with a breaking ball, 3-0. Fort Morgan this year has led at Mountain View, led at Northridge, led at Severance, led at Riverdale Ridge, and lost all 4. And now they're leading here. The pitch, down and away. It's a walk on 4 pitches. 4th walk issued by Redding. Here is Brock Rostein. A ground out and a sac fly. He is 0 for 1. Now there'll be a conference on the mound. And let's see if Coach Langford is going to keep Redding in there. Let's look at the pitch situation in terms of the pitch count. 76 so far for Redding. Yeah, when we got here, the wind was not even a factor. It's like it came out of nowhere. And really, we were at 64 degrees at first pitch. And now we're at 66. Not much of a difference. Conversation breaks up. 3-2 Fort Morgan, bottom of the fifth inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And this is Brock Rothstein. Well, why is he conversing? We just had a conversation on the mound, and now the coach and hitter are talking. That's the dumbest thing I've seen. That is just dumb. What is he telling him? Dinner reservations? Come on. He had the whole time to tell him whatever he had to tell him when Langford was out there. That's stupid. Well, I guess he just told him to bat from the right side because he's a switch hitter, but still, that didn't have to take that long to stretch. And the pitch square to bunt, and he takes it for a strike with a fastball in the inner half. It's 0-1. I mean, that's actually a smart play because if you're putting a bunt on, I can see why you would switch Rothstein from lefty to righty. Throw back to second, and the ball is off the helmet of the base runner, deflecting to the second baseman. Well, that's another thing that's questionable. I mean, you got to make a perfect throw. An error and a walk if you got the runners to first and second. This feels like Gone with the Wind. And now Rothstein is going to be switching over to the left side. He cannot go back to the right side now that he's committed. And he's down in the count at 0-1. Here's a stretch. And the pitch. Breaking ball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. At second is Kilpatrick. Pimentel at first. Looking back is Redding. The pitch swung on and grounded foul along the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Niwot led 2-0 after 3 innings. The Mustangs tallied 3 in the top of the 5th. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And what's becoming an impossible win. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry for all that noise. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and grounded to second. Franco with a tricky hop. Flips to second for 1. Throw to first is late. Yeah, he had that little hesitation, but Franco made a heck of a play at second. Because that ball was hit hard and took that little tricky hop and still made a nice flip. Here's Hayden Shaw. Hayden Shaw struck out and walked. He is 0-for-1. Kilpatrick at third, Rothstein at first. 3-2 Fort Morgan, bottom of the 5th inning. The stretch by Redding. And the pitch, runner goes, and that's taken for a strike. The throw's going to be cut off by the shortstop, Carrera. Now let's see the Mustangs play the infield in. They're up 3-2 with 1 out. Do they want to cut off this run completely? Or will they allow Niwot to tie the game? The ball's put in play. Out of the windup is Redding, and the infield is back. The pitch. Breaking ball is down and away. A ball and a strike. Such a nice day we got here. 1-1 to Hayden Shaw. Officially 0-for-1. And he's hitting over 400 this season along with 3 of his teammates. And the pitch swung on line, base hit into right field. It's going to score a run. It's hit very hard out there, rounding third, and now there's going to be a play at the plate to slide the tag late. It was cut off by Romero. Rothstein scored in the back end. It's 4-3. Lopez fielded it on one hop in right field. I thought there was no way they were going to score two. But Kilpatrick and Rothstein scored. It's 4-3.
Now batting, catcher number 24, Diego Castro.
Diego Castro struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2. This will be the 5th time this year that Fort Morgan has led on the road and could lose in the dirt. Again at Severance, at Northridge, at Riverdale Ridge, at Mountain View. They had the lead in all the games. And now at Niwot. Didn't play at Roosevelt and Skyline because those ended up being home doubleheaders. 1 ball, no strikes in the offering. And that's outside throw from his knees as the runner goes. That's going to be over the head of the second baseman Franco, backed up by Carrera. Stolen base for Shaw, and it's 2-0 on Castro. What was a pitcher's duel is now going in another direction. 2 balls and no strikes. For Niwot, believe it or not, that was only their 2nd hit of the game. Redding looks back. And the pitch. Breaking ball. Nearly hit him. It's 3-0. Mustangs had the bases loaded after scoring 3 runs and could not extend the lead. And now Niwot is back in the lead. 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 balls and no strikes. Throw to second, and nothing doing there. Julian Leto is on deck. The stretch. And the pitch. And that is low. It's a walk. And for Chase Redding, he's equaled his strikeout total. He had 5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, now 5 in the walk column.
Drew Stem, courtesy runner for Castro.
So first and second with 1 out, already 2 across in this bottom of the 5th inning. Niwot with a 4-3 lead. Leto has struck out and grounded out, 0 for 2. Left-handed hitter for Niwot. In those white pinstripe uniforms, the pinstripes are in green. And the pitch going to bunt, and he misses it. That throw back to second, and the ball's going to skip, but that's got to be a strike. Yeah, that should be a strike. They got to appeal there, and it's called a ball. There's no appeal. That should have been a strike. Well, it's 1-0 if nobody appeals. Yeah, that's crazy. That he never pulled that bat back. Here's the stretch. And the offering. Swung on and grounded to second. A high hop. Nice play by Franco to second for 1. Throw to first is into the dugout. Thrown by Carrera or off the facing of the dugout. That's going to score a run. And it's 5-3 Niwot. Could have been a double play instead. It's a 4-6 fielder's choice, and Carrera commits the error. The 3rd of the game for the Mustangs.
Now batting,
Yeah, he just did not get a good grip on that baseball at all. Here's Henry Noblin, who has struck out and walked. So both teams now have 3 miscues. The stretch. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Julian Leto. Yeah, if they turned that double play, that run would not have scored, or even if the throw had not been wild, the run would not have scored from second. The offering. That's a strike on the inner half with a fastball. It's 0-1. Chase Redding up to 90 pitches in the game. No balls and 1 strike. At the belt. Long pause to the plate. Down and away. Count evens at 1-1. 5 runs on 2 hits for Niwot. They made 3 errors. Throw back to first, back in diving. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Mustangs. They've committed 3 errors. 1 ball and no strikes. 3 across for each team in the 5th inning. 5-3 Cougars. The stretch. And the offering. Runner going. It's outside. The throw to second on a hop. The slide and safe. Stolen base for Leto. And 2 balls and 1 strike to the opposing pitcher, Henry Noblin. It's a good 1-hop throw there by Baker, but just a little bit tardy. The stretch. And the offering. Breaking ball's a strike on the inner half. It's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's get out of this right now. The pitch, and the ball hit him. Oh, man, got him in the upper leg. First and second off the hit by pitch. Jaden Adler will walk at a sac bunt. So here we go. With Jack Schrock as the courtesy runner at first. And a long half inning for the Mustangs defensively. Down by 2. Adler now stepping in. Redding at the belt. Redding to the plate. Breaking ball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. It was a nice, quick moving game. We played 4 innings in an hour. Now we're in the 5th inning. We played an hour 32. Swing and a miss. On a fastball, the ball gets loose in the infield. Picked up by the second baseman, Franco, who incidentally has played very good at second base today. He's been excellent. 1 ball and 1 strike to Adler. And stepping out now is Adler. All right, let's get back to action here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 on, 2 across. Make it 3 across. The pitch, and that bounces off the glove of Baker up the first base side. And the runners advance to second and third. A wild pitch. On pitch number 97 from Chase Redding. 50 strikes, 47 balls. 2-1, the pitch. Down and away with a fastball, 3-1. Hopefully he gets through this inning. Out of the wind. And the 3-1 pitch. Up and in, it's a walk. And the bases are reloaded for Arlo Richards. Hit by a pitch and grounded out.
Right fielder number 12, Arlo Richards.
If you want to stay in the game, you've got to retire this hitter. You're only down by 2, but a base hit here could make things very difficult. And the offering. Breaking ball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. 100 pitches, 50 balls, 50 strikes, and he was at a 2-to-1 ratio early. The offering. Up and in with a fastball. It's 2-0. This could be the last hitter for Redding. He's running out of pitches and having trouble finding the strike zone. And the 2-0. Not even close. Up and in with a curveball. It's 3-0. Leto, Noblin, Adler on the bases. The pitch. Outside, off the glove of Baker. It's a walk anyway, forcing in Leto at 6-3. And let's see if we have a pitching change in the bottom of the 5th inning. Niwot 6, Fort Morgan 3 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And the pitch is outside. Joseph Layden is now taking the mound for the Mustangs. 6-3, the bases loaded, 2 down, swung on and fouled off to the right. Jagger Kilpatrick is now the hitter. They've got 4 across in the inning. The base runners are Chase Redding's responsibility. Swung on and driven foul off to the right again. And it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Swung on, line towards right field, and that's going to fly over the head of Angel Lopez. That's going to clear the bases. Here comes Arlo Richards around third, and now breaking for third is Kilpatrick. It's a bases clearing triple. 9-3 Niwot in the bottom of the 5th inning. That ball got through the teeth of the wind. And Kilpatrick has blown the game open. The Mustangs had a 3-2 lead going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Sergio Pimentel's grounded out, singled, and walked. And the pitch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. He's 1 for 2. Swing and a miss on a pitch down in the zone. The count is level at 1-1. Only the 3rd hit of the game for Niwot, believe it or not, and they've got 9 runs. That's taken for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. With 2 down, a lot of this damage done with 2 outs. The pitch, upstairs with a fastball. Ball 3, strike 1 to Sergio Pimentel. They have scored 7 in the inning. This is the 11th hitter of the inning. And a check swing foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sergio Pimentel. Off of third is Kilpatrick, and they're asking for a helmet somewhere. I don't know what that was. 9-3 now. Niwot leads. 3-2 pitch. That is taken outside. It's a walk. Well, close the book on Redding now because those base runners were his responsibility. 103 pitches, 9 runs, only 3 earned. That's what happens with 2 out errors. 5 strikeouts, 7 walks. 2 hit batsmen. Brock Rostein, a ground out and a sac fly to fielder's choice. The pitch, swung on, lined, foul. That should be, oh, he's going to say hit the line? That's going to be a fair ball. I thought it was outside the line. It's going to score 1 run. Here comes a second. It'll be a double for Rostein. Yeah, Trey Romero's thinking that was outside the line. That should have been, that looked like a foul ball from here. That clearly looked like a foul ball. And it's 11-3. Wow. Instead, it's going to be a 2-run double. 9 runs across for Niwot in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now they're 2 runs away from winning it in this inning, but that clearly looked like a foul ball. So here we go with Hayden Shaw. I don't know how you could say that ball was fair. No way. Pitch is a strike. No way. Shaw is 1 for 2. Romero thought it was foul. Lopez thought it was foul. I thought it was foul. How the umpire saw that fair is beyond me. The stretch and a step off by Layden. No balls and one strike. And the pitch. That's a strike with a breaking ball. It's 0-2. And you can tell these conditions are great if you want to stay indoors. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. And Niwot is not letting up. They're going to try to win this game right now. They need 2 runs to win the game. It's 11-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. It was 3-2 Fort Morgan going into this 5th. And then an error started the rally. The pitch, foul to the backstop. Remains at 0-2. Here to Hayden Shaw. So they have sent how many men to the plate? My gosh. This is the 13th hitter of the inning. 9 have scored, 2 have been retired, 1 is on base. The pitch, swung on line, base hit into right field. Let's see if Leto scores. He's going to stay on third. Now he's going to break. Now he's going to go back. And it's a base hit for Shaw, his 2nd of the game. And that'll bring up Diego Castro. Let's see, unless they clear the bench. Nope, they're bringing up Castro. Well, you know that Shaw probably will take off for 2nd, and a base hit would end the game. Here's the stretch. Runner goes. That's taken high. The throw to 2nd is going to be late. And off the glove of Franco, it's a stolen base for Shaw. A base hit will end the game. Castro struck out, grounded out, and walked. Late into the plate. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Rostein's at third. It was not Leto, so it was Rostein who had that double. Leto's on deck. But they both look the same when they're up there hitting left-handed. The pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right. So Rostein is the one who had that double that appeared to be foul. And I think it definitely was foul. I don't know why it was called fair, but I think it was a guessing job. 2 balls and 1 strike. 11-3 Niwot in the bottom of the 5th inning. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and grounded to 2nd. Underneath the glove of Franco into right center field. Here comes the 2nd runner, and the game is over. Hayden Shaw scores, and Niwot has defeated Fort Morgan on a game-ending error, 13-3, as they tally 11 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with a recap. Niwot 13, Fort Morgan 3 in 5 innings on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back at Niwot High School. And this ball game is now over. Niwot has won 13-3. As we get you to the Mustang post-game show, brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seafood and water for your field. Now is the time to begin your planning for next year's growing season. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. 13 runs, believe it or not, on only 5 hits, 4 errors for the Mustangs, or 3 errors for the Cougars, I should say. 3 runs, 4 hits, 4 errors for the Mustangs. The winning pitcher was the starter, Henry Noblin. The loss went to Chase Redding. Time of the game, 1 hour and 46 minutes. And this was a scoreless game going into the bottom of the 3rd when Niwot tallied a couple of runs as Brock Rothstein had a sac fly preceded by an RBI single from Sergio Pimentel. Still 2-0, top of the fifth. That's where the Mustangs went to work. Noah Aguirre had an RBI double, scoring Jaden Carrera. Then Aguirre scored in a wild pitch. Then Charlie Langford, who had a base hit, scored in the back end of a double steal, making it 3-2. And then the wheels fell off in the bottom of the fifth inning as Niwot tallied 11 runs on only 4 hits. It began in the bottom of the fifth inning as the wind just picks up, and no surprise there. It began with a throwing error by the shortstop Carrera. Then Pimentel was walked. Rothstein hit into a fielder's choice. Then Hayden Shaw hit a 2-run single for a 4-3 lead. Julian Leto with a fielder's choice. It was 5-3 with 2 outs. So Niwot scored 8 runs with 2 outs in the inning, and their 2 big hits were a bases-clearing triple from Jagger Kilpatrick, a 3-run triple, and then Brock Rothstein with a 2-run double. And then the game ended on an error by the second baseman Franco, and the Mustangs, unfortunately for them, have now lost 11 games in a row, while Niwot moves to 9-6 in league play and 11-7 overall. The Mustangs are now 1-14 in the league, 4-16 on the season. They'll entertain Niwot coming up on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and that'll be on Morgan County's B106. Well, a tough one for the Mustangs. They had a shot here, up 3-2, but it fell apart in the bottom of the fifth inning. 11 runs and Niwot wins. I'm John Beltran. The final score from Niwot. In 5 innings, Niwot 13, Fort Morgan 3. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.